Noah examined his machete. The blade was over 2 feet long and 8 inches wide, and the handle was wrapped in red cloth. With the machete in hand, Noah's demeanor completely changed. Gone was the friendly boy next door, and in his place stood a tough, lethal soldier. His eyes narrowed, staring coldly at the wolf. Gripping the machete tightly with one hand, the veins on the back of his hand bulged, and his body tensed. Perhaps out of hunger and desperation, or perhaps provoked by Noah's challenge, the hungry wolf suddenly charged at him. Seeing the wolf closing in with such lightning speed, Noah's face paled. This wolf was running in a straight beeline towards Noah. It didn't seem to be using its full power, which meant that it had enough strength to outrun Noah. Noah didn't move, waiting for the right moment. He stared coldly at the pouncing wolf, his eyes flashing with a sharp light. The machete in his hand rotated, the blade now facing forward. Panic in the face of death only hastens death. Noah knew this all too well. The hungry wolf was getting closer and closer, but Noah still didn't move. He stood his ground, took a deep, calming breath, and whispered threateningly, "All right, you little beast. Come and get me." When it was about 5 or 6 meters away, it suddenly leapt high into the air, opening its mouth and baring its fangs. The pouncing wolf couldn't change its trajectory in midair. This was the moment Noah had been waiting for. "Die!" Noah screamed as he pushed off the ground, charging towards the wolf. Just as the wolf was about to sink its teeth into him, Noah quickly crouched his body and shot his hand forward. In one fluid motion, he swung the machete, and with a sickening squelch, the sharp blade pierced deep into the wolf's belly, sending blood splattering everywhere. The wolf's body came crashing down heavily at Noah's feet. It let out a mournful groan, its eyes filled with resentment as it looked at Noah, writhing in pain. Noah's gaze, unusually calm, locked onto the wolf. He leapt forward, delivering a kick that struck the handle of the machete, driving the blade even deeper into the wolf's body. The beast let out an agonized howl, its amber eyes fixed intently on Noah before the life faded from them. Looking at the dead wolf, Noah breathed a sigh of relief, wiping the cold sweat from his forehead. The fierce battle had been a close call. If the wolf hadn't leapt high enough, if he had been a few seconds too early or too late to draw the machete, the slightest change in the scenario, and the outcome would have been very different. Noah pulled out the machete from the world, wiping the blood from the blade on the wolf's fur. Taking a deep breath, he noticed that his old horse, Rocket, had already walked far ahead. He picked up the dead wolf and quickly hurried after it. "What do you think of my knife skills now, huh, Rocket?" said Noah, tossing the wolf's carcass onto the wagon. "This wolf fur would make a great jacket for you. A horse wearing wolf skin would look pretty cool. I bet a lot of mares would be all over you." "Oh, don't thank me, bud. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for you. Remember that time in Colville when you saved me from a frostbite?" And just like that, Noah was back to being a bright-eyed young man, as opposed to the cold and ruthless warrior he was just moments ago. Rocket happily broke into a gallop. Noah laughed and shouted after it, "Damn, just the mention of mares and you're all worked up, you old perverted horse." Noah and his horse raced through the wilderness as darkness fell. A torrential downpour lashed against his face, stinging his skin. He quickly pulled a tarp from the wagon to cover the sacks, urging his horse to go faster. Relief washed over him as the outpost came into view. But as he drew closer, Noah caught the scent of an unusual metallic odor. Glancing at the watchtower, he was alarmed to find the sentry missing. Cautiously, he drew his machete, its blade gleaming in the fading light. Crouching behind the wagon, he carefully made his way towards the barracks. Before long, he spotted a familiar figure lying in the plaza. The person lay face down, unmoving, surrounded by a pool of crimson rainwater. Noah's heart raced as he rushed over, forgetting the risk of becoming a sniper's target. As he turned the body over, his face paled. It was Commander Carter Johnson, his closest comrade and mentor. Half of his head had been blown off. "Commander?" Noah panicked, staring in disbelief at his mentor's lifeless form. Just yesterday they had been joking around, his laughter still fresh in Noah's memory. He never imagined that after being gone for a day, his most intimate confidant would become a cold corpse. A sudden realization hit him, and he scooped up Carter's body, sprinting towards the outpost. This was Noah's first time experiencing such a tragedy. His mind fell into chaos. He completely forgot basic tactical evasion, unaware that his actions exposed his position, Fortunately, the enemy had already retreated. Otherwise, he would have died many times over. His mind was consumed with worry and rage. Reaching the outpost, Noah found the kitchen charred and the surrounding buildings badly burned. If not for the heavy rain, the entire outpost might have been reduced to ashes. Noah frantically searched each room, finding nothing until he discovered several charred corpses in the kitchen. Noah's mind went blank, his body crumpling to the ground. Carter's corpse tumbled from his arms as he sat there, eyes fixed on the blackened bodies, oblivious to the stench permeating the air. Time seemed to stand still as the truth sank in. Noah's face contorted with grief and anger. Fighting back the pain, he silently knelt and bowed his head, memories of his comrades flooding his mind. Their laughter, their antics, their anecdotes. A single tear rolled down his cheek, a rare display of emotion from the hardened soldier. Noah banged his head on the ground, his forehead smeared with his comrades' blood. His voice trembled with sorrow as he spoke. "Commander, brothers, I swear until I avenge you, I am not worthy to be called a man." From this moment on, Noah could only think about one thing: revenge. Noah wasn't sure if he would be able to keep this promise to his comrades, but he knew he would die trying.